Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into a digital mystery that is, to be completely honest, a little heartbreaking. We're going to examine a beloved, highly trusted accounting firm that just suddenly went completely silent. Now, at first glance, their profile looked totally healthy, but as we dig into the source material today, you're going to see why this story is actually deeply sad and why it serves as a massive warning for businesses everywhere.
I want to start with this incredible number, 22. 22 different people sat down, opened up Google, and took the time out of their busy days to tell the world this firm was absolutely exceptional. The profile showed a glowing 4.6 stars. They didn't have to leave these reviews. Nobody forced them to. They just genuinely wanted to say thank you. And yet, for 7 long years, the firm never said a single word back. The contrast here is just stark. It's almost painful. On one hand, you have this deep, emotional outpouring of client love. Every single written review was 5 stars. They were detailed, they were personal, they were glowing. And in return, absolutely nothing. Not a thank you, not a we appreciate you, just a cold, echoing silence.
To really understand the weight of this, you have to hear what these clients were actually saying. One 17-year client shared how they literally survived the pandemic because the firm didn't just quietly file their returns, they actively picked up the phone to check in on them when they lost all their revenue. They were an absolute lifeline during that business's darkest period. And then there's the heavy emotional weight of 4 simple words worth their weight in gold. Imagine a proud client writing that ultimate compliment, putting it out there for the whole world to see, only to be met with an empty void. Not even an automated reply. Just nothing. It gets even more personal than that. A 15-year client specifically named a partner, praising him for taking a genuine, deep interest in their business. Another 20-year client proudly listed out every single service they've used. Somebody else praised a specific team member for being fast, friendly, and knowledgeable. Yet that specific partner and the team has never thanked a single person publicly. You really can't help but feel sad for these clients who are just pouring their hearts out. So you really have to ask, why did they stop talking? Did the firm close its doors? Did that beloved partner retire? Did they just suddenly stop caring? Or is there a much more tragic, almost invisible reason behind this complete radio silence? Well, here is the tragic twist. It's an unclaimed profile. That partner, he isn't ungrateful, he isn't ignoring his clients, he literally cannot reply. The profile has sat unclaimed and locked for years. The little button that says, claim this business, just sits right there, totally visible to anyone who looks. Because the firm doesn't control the profile, they can't respond, they can't add photos, and they can't even say a simple thank you. It's crazy to watch how this builds over the years. 7 years ago, there's a steady drumbeat of client love. 5 years ago, those glowing testimonials just continue to roll in. And then, around 2 to 3 years ago, total silence begins. A vibrant, living stream of client gratitude suddenly just flatlined. 22 people spoke, no one answered, and eventually, everyone just stopped talking. Think about what this means for a prospect who's out there searching for an accountant today. They find the firm, they see 22 glowing reviews, and they're initially super impressed. But then they notice the silence, and a tiny doubt forms. They start to wonder, hey, if this firm can't even be bothered to thank people who publicly praise them, are they even going to return my phone calls? When deciding between 2 firms, that tiny doubt tips the scale. The prospect calls a competitor instead. And this brings us to the massive financial heartbreak of the whole situation. The firm's own website proudly claims that 90% of their new business comes from word-of-mouth referrals. 90%? That means those referrals are Googling the firm before they call, finding a dead, frozen profile, and slipping right through the cracks. It's a massive, hidden leak, all because the profile makes them look like they just stopped caring.
But the good news? There's a fix, and it's incredibly empowering. First, claim the profile. It might take a few days of back and forth with Google, but it's worth it. Second, write those 22 replies. Third, ask 5 current clients for new reviews to get that momentum back. Finally, upload some office photos, list your services, write a quick description. We're talking about a 2 to 3 hour morning routine to breathe absolute life back into the firm's reputation.
Now, when you're writing those replies, please skip the generic corporate speak. Do not just copy-paste, thank you for your review. Make it deeply personal. Reference the exact things the client said. For the client who survived the pandemic, write something like, we remember those pandemic conversations. We were so worried about you too. The partner needs to write back to the client who named him. That isn't just marketing, you guys. That is profound relationship building. Seriously, I want you to imagine the incredible, unexpected goodwill generated here.
Picture a client looking down at their phone and seeing a notification pop up. The owner of the firm just replied to your review, 7 years after the fact. Imagine the smile on their face. Imagine that client turning to a friend at lunch and saying, "I left him a review years ago, and the partner just replied personally today." You literally cannot buy that kind of loyalty.
Let's zoom out for a second to reveal something pretty startling. The author of our source material audited over 300 accounting firms. And what they discovered is that this tragic, unclaimed profile scenario, it isn't just one isolated mistake. It's an industry-wide epidemic. Hundreds of firms with amazing reputations and fiercely loyal clients are leaving their best referrals right on the table, all because of empty, unclaimed profiles. Fortunately, there are actionable resources out there to ensure you aren't making this exact same oversight. The source of today's explainer, VindMyBusiness, provides a free Google Business Profile scorecard, a really detailed blog series called Unclaimed, and a totally free 17-lesson masterclass. It's an entire guide dedicated exclusively to helping accounting and bookkeeping firms fix these exact, incredibly costly issues.
Which really leaves us with this final, vital question. Think about your own firm's digital footprint for a moment. Are your best, most loyal clients talking to a wall right now? Don't let their gratitude go unanswered. Take control of your reputation. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.